If you look hard enough, you can spot something special anywhere in West Michigan. I've made it my mission to find some of those shining moments to share with you. With your Something Special, I'm Riley Mack. When the weather starts to get cold and the snow starts to fall, it's easier to spot the magic. Maybe it's the trees filled with lights, or maybe it's the collective goodwill that can light up a heart. Holiday magic surprises two beloved community members, brightens a half-dead tree full of hope, and brings a bit of cheer through a stuffed moose.
It gives us something to talk about and to giggle about.
Every neighborhood has their characters.
It's all a mystery.
The one on Woodlawn Avenue is stuffed.
The moose is back.
Cheryl Grant comes to expect holiday visitors.
Yeah.
Living here for 20 years, she never saw this one coming.
During the pandemic, this moose appeared on our front porch.
But this house guest wasn't here to stay.
We just put her out and she left us and she ran away.
This year, the moose got loose to every porch on Woodlawn Avenue.
You look for the moose in the morning. She kind of keeps an eye out on the neighborhood.
From her porch perch, she waits for 3:30 p.m. every day.
She kind of sits up straighter on her cute little bench.
When chaos descends from big yellow buses.
You know it came from someone because not a ghost could put it on their doorstep.
No one quite knows how the moose is moving. But kindergartner Simone Longo and her neighbors are lead investigators.
Yeah, that's not even her actually.
Who have their own theories.
I thought it was just a new decoration. Santa's lost ring. Maybe the elves blew him. I think he's one of Santa's helpers too.
But Cheryl seems to know the truth.
I think the moose comes from in here, in our heart.
That she brings a bit of moose magic of her own.
When it starts getting cold, a lot of people go into their homes and they don't see their neighbors and they're busy with everything. This is an excuse for us to get back together, which we love doing.
We're best friends.
This mystery, perhaps better left unsolved, as the moose on the loose on Woodlawn Avenue
I was really surprised.
becomes much more than her stuffing after all.
And then I hugged him.
A little bit awkward.
It might not be the biggest.
It might have its quirks, but don't we all?
It might not even be the prettiest.
Yeah.
But there is no family tree quite like the tree full of families on Windsor Terrace.
Whether it's sunny outside or snow on the ground, the tree still grows and survives.
Neighbors have seen that growth, but not just in the tree.
They were so tall and I couldn't reach them.
In Wendy Smith,
It's just really a selfless, giving, community spirit kind of place.
whose yard that tree is rooted in.
She's a survivor.
This decked out tree was an idea she first shared with the medical students
We call her our house mom.
who rent her spare rooms.
She had this big box of ornaments, like 1,000,000 of them, and a big pack of Sharpies. And we were like, what is this for? Like, Wendy, are you okay?
We got a lovely little package in the mail from Wendy, a letter and an ornament. And it said, we have the Tree of Hope in the front yard and we want to collect all the hopes and dreams, the people in the neighborhood, to put it up on the tree.
I wanted to do something that was positive and hopeful.
That woman who gives to all once lost everything.
My son passed away 7 years ago. He lived here with me. Losing Cody was the worst thing that's ever happened.
From her empty house, Wendy could have deemed the holidays a season of darkness.
It just feels like he's here with us.
Instead, she lit up the neighborhood.
The Hope Tree just felt like the right thing to do.
The woman who set her sights on giving received.
You're creating a better home feeling when you're connecting with the other people.
With a tree that's become more of a sign of the season for neighbors.
Kind of what she named it, just like hope.
The importance of community and connection.
Everybody else's hopes and dreams too.
It's really a symbol of hope.
The half-dead tree
Oh my gosh, it warms my heart.
and the hope that brought it to life.
It absolutely warms my heart.
A holiday party in a first grade class the day before winter break.
They're probably like, man, this teacher has no control of her class. But it's a party.
Noise is as sure as a sugar high.
Sugar rush.
Maybe what makes first grade teacher Heather Shansky so good
She's the best teacher ever.
is that she can't hear it.
I was noticing ringing in my ears.
When the ringing got in the way of her favorite thing,
It's kind of noisy in here, and the tinnitus is really hard. It's just sometimes difficult to know where the sound is coming from.
she knew it was time to find help.
I went back to my family doctor, and she ordered an MRI, and that's when they found that I had a vestibular schwannoma, and it was quite large. It was heartbreaking.
With a diagnosis of a brain tumor, this teacher of 26 years still didn't want to miss a day.
I didn't want to leave my class last year. I wanted to sub for the shortest amount of time.
Moments that unknowingly turned crucial.
In that time, it grew to 1/3 in size, so my facial nerve was very embedded.
After surgery, her hearing and balance were gone, and so was that superstar smile.
And if you know Mrs. Shansky, I love to smile.
Until this happened.
And then she surprised us. And we surprised her. Yeah. Dear Mrs. Shansky, this holiday season, we are grateful for all your hard work. We would like to offer you $1,000 to put toward your hearing aids.
Mrs. Shansky's gonna have hearing aids.
Just overwhelmed. All the families have been so supportive. When I had to take time off after my surgery, I didn't even feel whole because I wasn't teaching, because that is who I am.
A holiday party in this first grade classroom. No longer a celebration of their winter break,
I just feel so thankful.
She deserves it. Yeah, for sure.
but their teacher who is unbreakable.
They might love me this much, but I love them more.
On the melted snow of Pontaluna Road in Norton Shores, traffic always floods. That may be caused by Walter.
There you go.
Who waves.
My grandpa owned all this land between here and the fire hydrant down there, so my dad inherited this.
For 1/3 of his life, Walter Strickler has been on his lawn chair.
Mondays through Friday, 3:15 to 5:30 in good weather, and sometimes on Saturday.
Clocking in for his full-time job, sending goodness in waves.
Makes their day, makes them smile. They're glad to see me. Everybody needs a little bit of encouragement.
This year, suddenly Walter the waiver became more.
You kind of think, aw, that's so cute. And then as I realized, he really makes my day. We definitely rely on him.
For Deborah Larson, who lives 1 mile down the road,
And that's what people do. They go by and honk when they see him waving.
Walter means home.
As soon as I turn at the light there, I look to see if he's out. And I'm so excited. And I'm honking my horn and waving.
It was his day she wanted to brighten next.
I had posted on Facebook that I thought that everybody should send him Christmas cards. I couldn't believe all the responses that I got. I didn't realize so many people thought about it the same way that I did.
Now 75 years old, Walter requires a walker to get to his chair. But nothing could keep him from his mailbox every morning this season.
I hope they bring him joy and that he's not alone. I would love that he is acknowledged for all that he does for our community.
Totally surprised. Took me an hour to read them.
A man of few words.
Yeah.
A gesture that speaks for itself.
We all have ministers of some type. This is mine.
We've seen a lot of love within the community so far in Something Special, but there is no love quite like the love between a human and their pet, even the most unexpected of the sort.
They said he was too small.
This is his work. This is his job.
That he couldn't get the job done.
He's very low key, low maintenance, easy going.
But when duty calls in Bangor,
all he wants to do is just give belly rubs.
Help is on the way. As fast as those legs will allow. Meet their new fire dog.
Good boy.
Who needs no introduction.
Hi, my name's Mack.
He greets people at the door. The UPS guy brings him a treat every day. Who doesn't like a little short-haired, short-legged dog?
Fighting fires and that wagging tail. don't mix. His owner, Chief Derek Babcock,
We got matching mustaches.
would know.
He's not like sniffing out arson suspects or anything like that.
But Max found a job perfect for his skill set.
He'll be used quite a bit in this community. He's going to be going around to the schools and going around to the community as well. If he helps one person, it makes it worth it.
To become a therapy dog, he needed a sponsor.
Heck yeah.
That's where Anthony Pedrosa of Denver Cole Farms comes in.
We heard of this one, we jumped at it. And from the first time I met him, he's like licking my face. Makes you smile no matter where you are, who you are.
Stay.
He needed training.
It was not an easy 3 weeks while he was gone. I missed him way more than he missed me.
Enter Scott LaRoe
Yep, he's a super great dog.
of Magnum Canines.
Right away I was like, oh yeah, this guy's got what it takes. Loves to cuddle. We actually kind of had to break some of his cuddle time a little bit. We got to the point where we were trying to find stuff that would startle him, and we just couldn't do it.
But to become beloved in this community,
That's a good boy.
not one thing needed.
We just got lucky.
This firefighter, too small for the job,
Maximus the fire dog.
ignited the biggest flame in their hearts. Pure white snow.
It's beautiful.
Marks a new beginning.
Definitely.
Such is the case for Sophia the duck.
On her 3rd birthday, her aunt and uncle decided to just drop off a couple ducks at our house. So we became animal people.
Lindsay Fleecer and her kids Josie and Braden were surprised by new additions to the family.
She was first given 2 ducks. They were best of friends.
Sophia and Evie.
They're pretty cute ducks.
They were together all the time.
But even more surprised by what came next.
About 2 weeks ago, we only saw one for a couple days, so my husband went and checked in the woods and we saw a big pile of feathers, so we knew we had an issue. I'm thinking some sort of wildlife got to it.
Just as it would for any human, grief came for Sophia.
The first couple days after the duck was lost, she was really vocal. We could hear her constantly at night, so I don't know if that was crying or what that was.
I mean, they were together for like 4 years, so I think they had a pretty close bond. It was a little sad and disheartening.
That feeling couldn't last long. Sophia needed a companion for the season, or it would take her next.
When the temperatures got really cold, we knew that she would not survive.
Inspiring a bit of matchmaking.
We posted on Facebook to see if there was anybody who would be willing to let us adopt their duck.
Single female, loves long walks by the pond, bright orange feet. The usual. Sophia's were the only prints in the freshly fallen snow until a new path crossed her way in the form of the 4 webbed feet of Lucy and Goosey.
We were able to find somebody that had 2 ducks. They originally had 4 and they lost 2 of them to wildlife. They said, please come get them.
Just as sure as snow in Michigan, a new beginning came for Sophia the duck.
I think she's more happy.
I'm hoping our new ones are a girl and a boy, so they have baby ducks. So we have more and more.
Grand Haven's most eligible quacklerette found what she needed all along.
Might get more, you never know.
A flock.
We're kind of a duck family.
Of her own. Cue the waddling off into the sunset.
Sometimes the most special stories are from the most unusual places, like your college roommate, who after 50 years and multiple states of distance ends up becoming your guardian angel.
This is a good shot in front of the Memorial Library, the Hesburgh Library.
The photos in Jim Sullivan's scrapbook
Sort of life back in the day when we were young.
are fading around the edges.
Yeah, that's Aaron and me right outside our dorm.
Not unlike his friendship with his college roommate.
We saw each other in travels and got together a couple times.
Aaron Dwyer and Jim, in front of a King Kong snowman, have aged a few decades since then.
We were both freshmen 50 years ago.
But even now, neither were ready for this.
I learned that he was losing kidney function, was now in a serious form of dialysis every other day.
Okay, now maybe I can hear you. My daughter or somebody posted on Facebook, any donors are welcome. All my family, and I have a pretty large family, tested. They were all disqualified.
50 years later, Jim acted as if no time had passed.
As soon as I heard that he was in trouble, I said, what can I do to help?
Just like all those years ago as his roommate, Jim was a match.
I said, yeah, I guess you'll always have a piece of me with you.
But that was before Jim knew what was coming next.
It's a tragedy that strikes the entire family.
He was a swimmer for Hope and kept in shape by swimming.
Jim's son, Danny, was out for a swim one morning while in Vietnam.
He died suddenly, ironically, in a pool. He apparently did not have a heart attack, did not drown. His heart just stopped.
When he got the call across the world, Jim's heart did too.
We finally got a FaceTime into the ICU unit where Danny was, and it was quite clear he was gone. He said some prayers and said goodbye and turned the machines off, all within 20 minutes.
20 minutes that put everything on hold.
I actually kind of thought that would probably be the end of it. He obviously had a much bigger issue than worrying about me.
But Jim decided to turn his loss into a life-saving gain.
My son wouldn't want his death to have created a problem for someone else.
Giving his kidney to his college roommate turned lifelong friend. It's an honor Aaron doesn't quite know how to live up to.
There is no good way to say thank you.
And a privilege Jim doesn't want to be thanked for.
These are just shots of the campus.
Aaron gets more time with his wife and kids.
I got the better of the deal.
And Jim,
I really did,
gets his friend back.
Pretty cool story.
To prove you can find a heartwarming story anywhere, I took to the comment section of our Facebook page after a Michigan victory in the Rose Bowl. There, I found a Ludington family who can only be described as Michigan superfans. But to them, it's more than touchdowns and blocks. It's about 50 years of family history.
Michigan makes a stand and comes up with a milestone playoff victory.
Right now, the mitten seems to be woven with maize and blue.
Yep.
Some say it was the coaches.
They were super.
Some say it was the stacked team.
Love it.
Nora and Bill Clark say it's an evergreen.
Last year, I decided I'm going to put a Michigan tree up, and then I took it down. Then we lost that last game last year. I put it up again this year. The kid says, "You're not taking that tree down."
This year's new addition.
There's one thing missing from that tree.
A spot of red.
How silly is that? I mean,
the Clarks have been married for 58 years.
And it was a blind date. You know, he had a cool Mustang. I thought, you know, this might be the one.
But both their hearts belong to Michigan football.
Coach Harbaugh signed it for me.
It was not a choice. It was Michigan or nothing.
A love that turned into a livelihood.
We work at Will Call.
In a little booth in the big house.
If they have any items on them that's prohibited, I will confiscate that.
If you got anything on you, you better get rid of it right here. If she finds it on you, you may not get in the game.
The 4-hour trek to Ann Arbor every game day for 50 years.
I had open heart surgery. It's the only game I missed all these years.
Not about the paycheck.
That money we just use for Christmas.
Nor the star encounters.
Blake Corm's dad.
Mark Consuelo's coming.
He didn't have anything on him. Unfortunately, I didn't get a check.
It's about the family in the football.
She's with me. Our son's with me. Her sister also works with us, so it's kind of like a family affair.
It's just a time that we get to be together, and it's not really work.
Their family tree may be rooted in superstition.
And we got friends at Michigan State. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's just on game day. Don't even talk to us. It's just in fun. Unless you're from Ohio, and it's like, no, not even in fun.
But on game day in the Clark household, all is merry and maize.
It's our life. I mean, that's all we know.
It's one of the hallmarks of a Michigan winter. Many are grabbing their sleds and boards and heading to the snow-covered hills. But the special bit that many might not know is they have one West Michigan city to thank for their favorite winter activity. Here's how one man is working to bring back a bit of glory to Muskegon as the place where a father made an invention that would change winter fun across the world.
I'm always fascinated by those little oddball items that you stumble upon.
Inside a little hut covered by snow.
Choosing between a book of fiction or a book of nonfiction, I'll pick nonfiction every day of the week.
Ron Pesch keeps warm with some light reading.
Always interested in fact.
The story of how his research helped turn his hometown into legend.
This little town on the shores of Lake Michigan is the place where snowboarding got its start.
Just like many many stories of invention before. This one begins with a tired mom.
Sherm Poppin was the father of 2 daughters. His wife Nancy was pregnant with her 3rd daughter. Christmas Day, she told Sherm, "You got to take the kids. I need a nap." And so Sherm took his daughters outside and was trying to run the sled through the snow. It couldn't support the sled, basically. So what he'd done was created what was the prototype for what he called the snurfer.
Born on a quick solution, the new board's longevity was anything but.
The product was released by Brunswick Corporation as a product available for purchase for Christmases.
From there, it would snowball.
It was and is generally recognized as the birth of what became the snowboard. Years later, Sherm Poppin would always say the biggest mistake that he made was enforcing his trademark. Had he not done that, we might be competing in the Olympics on snurfers instead of snowboards.
Earning Muskegon a place in history.
That board today resides with Smithsonian.
And earning Mike Meddendorf a gold trophy.
1968, the neighborhood heard about these snowboards. I wanted one for Christmas.
Now 70, he remembers this faded plank of wood topped with rusted staples as a symbol of the glory days.
I heard about this competition I won in 1970. I'm the world's champion snurfer. That's my claim to fame. And I'm very proud of that.
Just outside that little hut of history, a memento much bigger.
People don't go visit cities to visit their McDonald's. They visit cities for the stories that are there. It solidifies that story to them, and they walk away with something that they didn't know before.
But that leaves one question.
Where do you see this sold?
Pardon?
With a legend that spans decades, you may be wondering, could I even get a snurfer today? The answer is yes. Here at a shipping store in Spring Lake.
Pack Mill Spring Lake, we sell the snurfer.
Mason Mitchell
We sell out of these the most.
Is working to bring back a new old favorite.
Like 5 to honestly 60 if you wanted to. It's for anybody and everybody, and it's cool because you can do it anywhere. You don't have to have a lift ticket. Just
as Sherm Poppin did all those years ago, he's making a bit of history in the process.
We're the only ones who sell them currently. It's cool to just see it back.
A shipping store in Spring Lake.
This is big.
Where history begins again.
That is one of the reasons why people like coming here, and obviously shipping out things too.
Thank you for watching. If you ever need a bit of sunshine in your day, you can always turn to 13onyourside.com/something special. I look forward to bringing you more of the little-known, lot of heart stories that seem to be everywhere in West Michigan. With your Something Special, I'm Riley Mack.